What is going on, everybody? WeedleTwineedle here, and we are backing in with another Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle, and this one's going to be against Marissa. Now, I battled my opponent off my Discord server, so if you guys are interested in a Wi-Fi battle and trade community chat room, feel free to check out my Discord server. A link will be in the description below. Now, my opponent and I are having an underused tier battle today, and my opponent's team is pretty damn threatening if you ask me. I have no switch-ins to half of her team, like Volcanion, Alakazam, Latias, Conkeldurr destroy my team. They literally demolish my team. So that's pretty scary. But my team is pretty damn spicy. I'm using Glaceon with a pretty mysterious set, as you'll see. Empoleon, Espeon, Swellow with Guts, Arcanine, and Tropius, my signature Dragon Dance Lychee Berry set, which it's probably getting old at this point because you guys are probably used to it, but I love using it because it catches so many people off guard and has netted a lot of rage quits, so that's always lovely. So turn 1, I'm going to lead off with my Glaceon as my opponent leads off with Hippowdon, and now I don't want to give her free Stealth Rocks because my team is half weak to Stealth Rocks because it's not a team of mine unless half of my Pokemon are weak to Stealth Rocks. So now she's going to make the really nice play, bringing in her Volcanion onto the Ice Beam. Looking at the damage, it appears to be a Assault Vest, but honestly, it quad resists Ice Beam, so it's kind of hard to tell. But Glaceon's special attack stat's pretty respectable. I think it's like 394 or 393 because I hit Power Fire. But either way, it is damn powerful. As now, the Volcanion walks into my trap, goes for Flamethrower, I eat my Aqua Berry, I take it but better than I thought I would. As now, I'm going to go for the Mirror Coat onto the Volcanion and just destroy it. So, yeah, Glaceon just solo Volcanion. That's the title. That's the title of the video. Anyway, in comes Scizor, and my opponent underestimates me really badly because I do carry Hidden Power Fire, and I carry like 16 Speed EVs to outspeed and speed creep base 60 Pokemon, so the Scizor gets absolutely butt raped by HP Fire. As now, my opponent is going to bring in Conkeldurr after losing 2 Pokemon to Glaceon. She's going to play it safe and go for Mach Punch and knock me out. Probably a smart play, because if she let me get the Ice Beam off, I probably would have froze her, and that probably she would have EC'd on me. She would have been so mad, but that would have been pretty great if that happened, no lie. But now, I'm going to bring in my Verlis Babe, my Arcanine, and now, I'm baiting the fact that I'm a defensive Arcanine because I do have Intimidate, and that's half of this set's, like, idea. As now, in comes the Hippowdon, as I'm just going to go for Toxic because this set is aimed to, punish the water types and bulky ground types that switch into Arcanine, and obviously, since the only thing that resists Toxic or is immune to Toxic is Steel and Poison, Flare Blitz will punish them accordingly. So, I do also carry the Z Crystal on this Arcanine because I didn't have any other Z move users on this team, so I figured may as well, right? So, gonna bring in my Espeon here. I expected her to go for Stone Edge, but Stealth Rocks work too. I guess she really had no reason not to go for Stealth Rocks because half my team's weak to rocks, but I figured the Espeon switching was so obvious. But then again, if my team were half weak to Stealth Rocks, my highest priority would be to get Stealth Rocks up. So either way, it was a high risk, high reward play, and I got rewarded for it. But now, she's going to bring in her Latias, and I'm just going to go straight for the Psychic because it is my best play, and I am Choice Scarf Espeon, so I am going to get locked in the Psychic. As now, I don't want to take a Draco Meteor, so I am going to choose to withdraw and bring in my Empoleon here to tank the Draco Meteor, as my opponent does go for Defog, so that may have been why she went for Stealth Rock so aggressively, because she did carry Defog on her Latias, but regardless, she's going to switch out now and bring in her Tubby, her Conkeldurr, to switch into the Scald, or whatever move I want to go for. Very nice play. It's here, I do go for Scald, completely forgetting about Conkeldurr, and I give it the burn, and I'm like, crap, dude, I just gave Guts Conkeldurr a burn, and I'm like, god damn it, this is really bad for me. So I'm gonna be forced out of here because I want to save my my Empoleon for the Latias. So gonna bring in my Arcanine here, get the Intimidate just so I can tank one hit from this thing. As my opponent does go for Drain Punch, even with the Intimidate, it is over half of my health because I don't have much defensive investment. I don't think I have any defensive investment actually. So Arcanine does take it better than I thought it would. But now I do carry Inferno Overdrive. And I think my opponent realizes from the damage that I am offensive Arcanine, so she is going to withdraw, bring in her Hippowdon, as now she's going to get the Sandstream. And may I add that this shiny Hippowdon kind of looks like a pile of turds. That's just my opinion, but it just kind of looks a little bit yucky. But now, going to go for my Inferno Overdrive here with my Arcanine, my Verlis Babe, and go for Inferno Overdrive, like I said. So it's my first time using like an offensive Z move in like forever. So I'm gonna go for the Majestic Destroyer. Flame absolutely roasts the Hippowdon, and it doesn't even kill it because Hippowdon's a defensive monster. But at least with the poison and it unable to recover, it should be able to be knocked out by my next Flare Blitz. which is nice because the Powdon's just a bulky Pokemon, and since Glaceon's dead, I don't really have much to hit it besides Empoleon, but at the very least, the Volcanion being dead really opened up the door for my Arcanine to do work to his team, so that's pretty good. Glaceon actually hard carrying the team in the beginning of the game there, because removing Scizor and Volcanion from the game, which are Pokemon that counter Glaceon, is absolutely hilarious. But now, in comes Conkeldurr, the clown, and I do carry E-Speed, but I expected her to want to predict my switch into Espeon. Don't ask me why, but I just stay in for no reason to go for Flare Blitz, as my opponent does go for Mach Punch. I mean, I had no reason not to go for E-Speed, but I wanted to flex, and it just didn't quite work out for me. But now, I'm going to bring in my Espeon here, and I am modest but psychic, so I'm sure it will still knock out Conkeldurr regardless of the Assault Vest, so she is going to bring in her Latias once again onto the Psychic. I could have predicted that, but I thought my opponent was a little bit overconfident with her Conkeldurr and thought she wanted to test if she can live Espeon's Psychic, which is pretty unlikely because Espeon's very powerful. So here, I don't want to take a Draco Meteor again, so I make the pretty obvious switch into my Empoleon, as my opponent aggressively punishes it, dumbles out, and brings in the Conkeldurr. Very nice play and well played by my opponent, because now my Empoleon's in a pretty bad position, and I could just get Drain Punched and get obliterated. So I'm going to go for Scald here anyway, just because I don't want to switch into this Conkeldurr, and I want my Pokemon I have remaining to be alive. So Drain Punch is going to easily one-shot my Empoleon, and my opponent is going to get all of her health back practically, and down goes my Empoleon, but the burn at the very least, as well as all the damage she didn't recover, is pretty, it's in range of Psychic still, so I'm going to bring back an Espeon here. I have no reason not to go for Psychic because the Latias is weakened, so I'm going to go for Psychic here, and that's just going to knock out the Conkeldurr. I honestly wasn't expecting it to knock it out, but you know what? Espeon's powerful, so we take those. As now in comes the Alakazam, and I was afraid of this thing for the entire game, because it is late game at this point, and this is where Alakazam thrives, so I'm going to bring in my Swallow here pretty aggressively, because she could have predicted it, but she went for Shadow Ball, as I'm able to switch into my Swallow. I do have the Flame Orb here, and now I'm going to go for the Facade, just to hit him really hard, as now the Alakazam does reveal Focus Sash, which is pretty expected, as now she reveals the counter. Wasn't expecting that. But what if I was Specs with Boom Burst though? Like, what if I, wait, never mind, I had Flame Orb. Wait, I'm stupid as fuck, but like, what if I was Specs Will though? But counter Alakazam is pretty cool. I mean, you lose out on Magic Guard because of it, but we're able to knock him out with Scarf Dazzling Gleam, as my opponent's last mon is the Latias, and Scarf Dazzling Gleam will be able to win me the game. But I'm pretty sure you can't have Magic Guard Alakazam with counter, but maybe with them red and blue, because anything you transfer from that game has the hidden ability thanks to no Guard Fisher Machamp. So I'm pretty sure they made it so Alakazam gets Magic Guard when transferred, so maybe you can teach it counter and red and blue, and then transfer it over, and that's probably what my opponent did. So, that's pretty cool, and I need to get me one of those counter Alakazams then, because I do love me my counter Sash leads. But that's gonna be the battle, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the battle and want to see more of my content, please be sure to hit that like button. It really means the world to me, and it keeps me inspired to make daily uploads when I have the time. And the question of the day is going to be, what is your favorite pseudo-legendary Pokemon? Now, the pseudo-legendary Pokemon I think I probably have listed on the screen right now. Very powerful Pokemon that are able to match up to legendaries, make some of like Pokedex, entries and stuff. But my favorite pseudo-legendary is Salamence, just because it was the first Pokemon I've ever EV trained and got to level 100 in Diamond and Pearl. So it's pretty impressive, and I just have like an attachment to Salamence. And I would have to say like a close second Metagross. I mean, you can call me a Hoenn fanboy, but those two Pokemon are actually badass as fuck, so I mean, it's to be expected. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people's favorites were Salamence and Metagross. But that's gonna be the battle, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll check you guys in my next video. Alright, peace.